Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, Zimbabweans from wherever you are. And of course, here in North America, it's still a very good afternoon. And I know it's a good evening in Zimbabwe or in Southern Africa. Of course, we always say good afternoon, good evening, but is it really good in Zimbabwe? Is everything good in our country? Of course, we come here with mixed feelings. We are happy. And we are also sad, yet broken, especially myself, that ZANU-PF continues to invest millions into destroying democracy in Zimbabwe. You know, millions that could actually be deployed elsewhere. People are dying with cholera right now as we are speaking. Hundreds of people are dying of cholera, and the ZANU-PF government is not deploying any resources, but they are choosing to put millions of dollars into destroying the, people's movement, and that's what we want to discuss today. But of course, I am also happy because with everything that is thrown to the people, every problem that is thrown to the people of Zimbabwe, the citizens, they always come up with a solution. They always rise up. And as we are speaking, the solution to everything that we are talking about here, that is making us sad, that is made many Zimbabweans, millions of Zimbabweans said the solution is already here. And that's the reason why we are saying embrace the new. And of course, to help me discuss this, my usual partners in crime. Crime number one, crime partner number one, Baba. Could say UK, people were asking me, where are you guys? Why are you so quiet? Ask Makaenda here. I don't know how much Makaenda
tichiendepi hakuna zvinezvi hakuna kuri kuendwa kunosiyiwa hakuna kuri kuendwa dai watotibvunza kuti makasiyawo here kwete kuti makaendawo tichiendepi isusu tisi tiri kutosiya Yeah, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Zimbabwe, from wherever you are. Lingabe lichona njani, lavuka njani, mthwakazi omuhle. Sesiphendukile, I think ngemva kwesikhathi eside singabuyi lapha emsakazweni wenu e-Change Radio. Namhlanje sithe sibuye le ndaba phela indaba emnandi engithemba ukuthi abaningi benu selayizwa indaba leyo yokuthi uPresident Nelson Chamisa sowachiya ibandla leli elithiwa Citizens Coalition for Change echiyela izizatho eziningi kakhulu ukuthi aliseyibandla elabantu aliseyibandla elizimeleyo sokulibandla eselicontrolwa yiZanu PF through uSengezo Chabangu. So usethe ngcono abachiye lo Chabangu labanye bakhe basale-ke bona beku-Triple C yena azihambele kodwa ahambanga nje kuphela ukhona okukhulu asithembise khona lathi sinje soka sikwazi ukuthi usithembiseni. Sisakaza silive ku-Change Radio umsakazo ngowayo, Change Radio Facebook, Change Radio YouTube, ZimEye, sisakaza njalo sikwamanye ama-platforms i-platform ekamadzore labanye sisenzela phela ukuthi abantu abaningi bakwanise ukusixhuma. Asihlaleni-ke silalele sizwe ukuthi kuyini osokuthatha indawo lani sifuna lisitshele khonapho ku-comment section lisitshele ukuthi licabangani ngombono lo okaPresident Nelson Chamisa ukuthi achiye kumbe singathi iba leli esingalisebenzisa lapha ukuthi akhalale wenza khona kokukhalala thathani okuyinto kwenu lisale lakho mina sengihamba. hanzi wakasirwa dengu injini dala akaenda neinjini yemota wakasirwa dengu hanzi
wakasirwa danga
eh,
akaenda
kana kuti wakasirwa dengu remota injini ikaenda hanzi pushai dengu renyu. Hansi, please, Chief and team, give us daily updates. We need Dare every day. Wakomana, ringari richiri Dare here rinogarwa every day. Dare harigarwi every day. Munobva kupi kodai?
I agree with the person though, Barbara. I agree with the person. We need
Seta
to be...
kutochinja zita kakuna Dare rinogarwa every day.
But anyway, Samuel and Sarah, how was the new movement received with the people in Finland? I know you're out there in the cold, but is it cold anymore, especially after the announcement by President Chamisa that he has left, of course, to form a new movement? I didn't say a new party, so please don't misquote me. I said a new movement.
Yes, thank you, Chief. It is a blessed day indeed. Isusu pamwe tinofamba nefaith saka it's always blessed, it's always good. It's always good news. Whatever President Chamisa zvavanenge vaita is always good news. We see the light at the end of the tunnel always. The news there, a new move, right, when the President Chamisa has been most welcome because, as he pointed out, CCC, Yangaya toxic, Yangaya compromised, and it wasn't anymore possible to deliver a new Zimbabwe using that compromised vehicle. So it was an absolutely welcome move, and people are in high spirits and just waiting to see what's next. I would just like to welcome you, our viewers and listeners, regardless of where you're joining us from and on which platform. I'd like to invite you to share this live to other pages so that we can get more people coming in. And as usual, We would really love to hear what you think. So please do make use of our comment section. We'll every now and again read your comments and engage you. We're promising you an exciting program today. Back to you, Chief.
So thank you, Champion Stella. And like Stella said, do we still call each other champion? Maybe not.
I don't know.
So today I'll get away with just saying Estella and Barbara, and that probably sounds better that way. But as Stella said, let's share this video with as many people as possible so that we can have this very important discussion because in our country right now, we are at the crossroads. And I know, this has happened before, and we know what happens during those moments. Chambers flare, people fight each other, people point fingers at each other. Some can even come at each other's throats. That's the nature of the struggle. Not that I'm condoning what is happening, the blood, and some of the messages that we see. We're not condoning that, but it's part of. I was saying, I think I will show it later on here. I was saying on VOA that ZANU-PF may come and lambast us and criticize what is going on, but we all know how ZANU-PF started. It was NDP. It broke apart or broke up, and there was police, there was ZANU, and that ZANU broke into ZANU Ndonga, ZANU Mwenje, and the ZANU PF that we know today. And that ZANU PF that we know today also split at one time, and we had Zoom led by Edgar Tekere, and we also had the other ZANU that was led by this Sunningdale lady, what was her name again, Margaret Dongo, and we also had another ZANU that was led by Simba Makoni. I'm not condoning what is happening, but what I'm just saying is it's the nature of the struggle. And President Chamisa, is, I quote him, and I always use his quote. He has always said that, the struggle is not a walk in the park. So you expect difficult times to come, sometimes even unprecedented times to come, but do we have a choice? Do we have a choice of throwing in the towel? Do we have a choice of giving up? And from what I've been gathering from people here in North America, we had a gathering, we had a discussion on Friday night. What I gathered from that meeting that we had, or a gathering, if I may call it that way, that we had on Friday night, was that even now, even when it's looking like the chips are down, the people of Zimbabwe, the citizens are ready to fight. They are ready to pick up from where they left in August 2023 and finish this struggle. I was so inspired, Estella, with what I was hearing from people. You'd think that when something like this is happening, when the party is it's breaking apart and people are disgruntled, people are fighting each other, people are at each other's throats on social media, accusing each other, counter-accusing each other, you'd think that you hear people saying, you know what, I'm minding my own life, I'm managing my own life now, I'm moving on, to hell with this politics. But in that meeting, I felt emboldened because everyone who was speaking, speaker after speaker, they were all saying, we need to fight on, we are prepared to fight, we are prepared to finish this struggle, we are prepared to go all the way. I wasn't talking to, we were not conversing with people that were saying they want this struggle done by tomorrow, or they want this struggle done the day after tomorrow, because that's the biggest problem that we do, that we get into this struggle expecting that the struggle is going to end with the next election. No, and I've always told people that let's get in this struggle for the long haul, for the longest time that we can, because that's the nature of the struggle. It's not instant coffee where you just wake up, and Zimbabwe is free. And some people also make a mistake of comparing what is happening in Zimbabwe with what has happened in other countries. They talk about South Africa, they talk about Malema, and they want to compare President Chamisa with Malema. They want to compare President Chamisa with the Rwanda opposition leader, with the Zambian opposition leader, that there is now freedom in Zambia because the opposition leader in this country is more sophisticated or was more prepared to take the bullets, get in the streets. But it's not that. People forget that Zimbabwe is different. People think they make the terrible mistake that we have a democracy in Zimbabwe. We don't have a democracy in Zimbabwe. We have a coup government. We have a government that just took over, military action. And when a government takes over or is taken over by people, in the military, guess what? They are prepared to kill. Those people were doing what they were doing because they were prepared to wipe up everyone, wipe away everyone who gets in the way. That's the government that we have in Zimbabwe. It's not a democratic government. It's not a civilian government. It is a coup government. It is a military government, and it remains like that. And the people of Zimbabwe need to understand that. And when you understand that, you begin to appreciate the problems that we are facing, what we are faced with, the government that we are facing, the cruelty that even the leadership in Zimbabwe is facing. So let's stop this business of comparing, apples and oranges. Ours is a different struggle. But what, Barbara, is exciting me is that the people are prepared. The people are prepared to fight. They are not disillusioned. They might be saddened by what is happening, but the people of Zimbabwe are prepared to finish off this struggle and ensure that there is democracy in Zimbabwe. But I know, of course, before we even get there, we have to fight, we have to protect ourselves. We have seen the tweet by the president that his life is in danger. It has always been in danger. ZANU-PF have been trying to come after President Chamisa for the longest time. He survived an assassination attempt in Padare. He survived another assassination attempt in somewhere in Masingo, Gutu, and now they are also coming after him. And I think that's something that Zimbabweans need not just dismiss. We need to take that seriously. But let's take this step by step. Barbara, your opinion on the new that is coming or that is, closer or that is there already. I don't know your feeling,
Uh,
as of
yes,
now.
thank you so much, Chief. I'm already waiting for the new um, because Chief, when President Chamisa said uh, CCC has become contaminated, really, for me, it was long overdue because I couldn't stand it, Chief, when Chavangu was doing all those sorts of things. It's like we were being treated as fools, as people who do not think, Chief. Anything that Chavangu thinks of doing, it could sail, even if there were letters to stop him. You could still uh, uh, um, win because ZANU-PF was supporting him, Chief. The courts were supporting him. It was a Chief. The Chavangu moment was the moment that ZANU-PF was waiting for, to finish Chamisa. So they thought Kuti Chamisa would be finished through Chavangu. But then this move, it angered Chavangu. It angered ZANU-PF, Chief. I've never seen Warakashi angry like that, Chief. Warakashi, they were so angry about the decision, Chamisa's decision. Why would you be angry that Chamisa has left CCC for Chabang? Isn't it Chabang is just supposed to take over, and all those are his anglers. They're supposed to take over, and all those people who are saying Chamisa hana plan, Chamisa is failing to do this, Chamisa is failing to do that. Now is time for them to shine, take over CCC, and engage, maybe implement all the plans that they thought Chamisa had not. So to me, it's just a good move. And Chief, let's not forget that ZANU-PF he has been trying to eliminate Chabisa, but as Nej, what they've been doing, they wanted to eliminate him, not for good. They wanted to eliminate him in opposition politics. That's why even Pana Douglas Monzora, they preferred to work with Douglas Monzora because his party was a sweetheart political party. All those parties dzinongonyuka pama-elections vachicontesta presidium vanongonyuka time ema-elections ezvinezvi muri kumbovaonzwa here, where are all those candidates that wanted to stand as presidents? Why is it they only come during elections? Have you ever asked yourself, Chief, why those people only come during elections? And also, Chief, you remember the SMICE that we did last time. When we did SMICE, we said ZANU-PF uses a strategy called SMICE to destroy opposition parties or to destroy opposition leaders or to destroy anyone who wants to oppose the government. So the SMICE, remember when we said this, when we were talking about the SMICE strategy, Chief, isn't we said they first use S is sex. Anything to
Yes.
do with sex scandals, love scandals, anything to do with the madres. They can do anything, try to pin you, try to give you women that you don't even know, try to build cases, rape cases.
Try to give you men as well that you don't
Yes,
even like. Saying
yes,
what?
yes. No, here we are talking about Chamisa. Yeah,
Okay.
it's either way. It's not side one. It's not one-sided, Chief, like you're saying. So they tried the X S Yakaramba. M stands for money. Remember when they wanted to offer Chamisa leader of the opposition in parliament, and they promised him to say, we are going to give you a package, we are going to give you my benefits, like just like a minister, my minister's benefits. Chamisa refused. The money thing didn't work. And then they can also use, like, deprive you money. But they can use you by giving you money to silence you or deprive you money. Remember what happened to the political funding yatakatorerwa from time yana Monzora. Now they also giving Chabang our funding, and yet Chamisa is the one who contested in 2023. So the money thing, it failed. The I stands for infiltration. That's why they was always talking about constitution structures. It is only through structures, Chief, where they penetrate. So the strategic ambiguity, Yachamisa, it worked, Chief, because they failed to penetrate. It's just that most people are dwarfed, Chief. They don't think, they don't use their common sense. Chamisa was very, very clever to use that strategic ambiguity, because if he had availed the constitution, if he had put the structures in place, they were going to infiltrate. So that's the I on SMICE. And then the C is for cohesion, Chief. ZANU-PF uses cohesion to stop the opposition, to victimize, to destroy. Remember what they do, like even to the citizens, where they force you to go to Mazanu PF rallies, where they force you not to support Chamisa, where they deprive villagers of my aids, food aid that does not even belong to them, that will be donated by other countries. They deny opposition members. It's a way of coercion. It's a way of forcing them to follow or to join ZANU PF. They coerce. Now they're coercing Chamisa. They were coercing him to follow what they want. They took his MPs, took my councillors. Chawangu recalled and even failed to field the candidates. Now the seats are going to ZANU PF. That's coercion, Chief. That they are using, and this one, it can be used to anyone as long as you oppose the system. And then I say we're talking about this here, and then the last one, Chief, is elimination. And this elimination is elimination through death, Chief, to eliminate you totally. So
and that's where they are now.
That's where they are now, Chief. And Musa Derere, those statements to say they want to kill Chamisa. And Chamisa today tweeted to say he was discussing about his journey from the time when we MDC. They took MDC, Ikandana Welshman. We formed MDC Alliance. Wana Welshman Wadzoka, Douglas Akaitora. We formed CCC. Now they are taking it. Yeah. So this is the reason why Chamisa said we are going to form a movement. I don't think we are going to form a political party. In a movement, and a movement, Chief Chamisa ari kufamba nebhora, ari kufamba negwara nebhuku. Movement, a movement. Chief, I don't want to preempt everything. Otherwise, kurukugadzirwa bomba. That's the reason why you're seeing now they want to kill him. Now they want Chief. They even saying, how are they going to do it, the Chief? They want to imprison Chamisa, and it's either they will poison him like what they did to Changirai, or they will poison him enough time that will buy him from participating in any election. That is, they are going to convict him, and the conviction, ikangodarika 6 months in prison, zvatovhara. You will never contest as a president. So zvinenge zvatodako.
Preach on, my sister. People want to hear that last part, the E part. When we talk about these things, when we were talking about SMICE, people were saying we are alarmists, and we just, we are just spreading our own propaganda. But this is where we are today. The life of the president is in serious danger. And Barbara, ever since that tweet came, I've received calls from a number of people, including pastors here in North America, and they were asking me, is the president safe? And some of them were even making suggestions. Why doesn't he leave the country? Is he in the country? If he's still there, why doesn't he just leave the country? Estella, I don't know whether you're still there. I just wanted to know what you think about that. In line with what we are just receiving, the news that we are receiving, that the life of the president is in danger. What do you think? Should he leave the country? Should he remain in there? But before you even come in, I've had that discussion with the president on other issues, and I know what he would tell you, that leave the country. Why? Why should I leave the country? Why should I leave the country?
He doesn't even want to hear. He doesn't even want to hear about that, Chief.
Yeah.
He doesn't even want to hear. Even Chief, I struggled to convince him when I couldn't go back. You know, he was so angry. He was so angry, you could even see his anger in a telephone call. Kuti munhu abatikana, chief. But you know, sometimes unenge usina choice. Unenge usina choice. Although wakazonzwisisa zvavo, but running away is the last resort. Yeah, President Chamisa. I think according to him, you rather die than run away.
Yeah, that's what I know. And but a lot of people have called me, and they've been saying the president should leave the country because ZANU-PF is gonna come after him. Obviously, now this is their last resort. They've tried everything and anything, and they are seeing that with every move that they make, with every strategy that they come up with, they are actually leaving President Chamisa more popular than he was before. I don't know what you call it in Ndebele, Barbara, but in Shona we say urguchi kava uchichivambutsa, you know.
Kukabadacha unonyepa zvinonzi kukabadacha kuriyambutsa.
Iwe tsumo dzamazuva ano unongodzigadzirisa as long as people know what you're talking about. Kukabadacha kurivambutsa. Okay, now you go ahead and explain what it means in Ndebele.
Mthwakazi omuhle lapha sikhuluma ngendaba kaPresident Chamisa ukuthi usechile iCCC and ngaphezu kwakhona lokhu impilo kaNelson Chamisa isengozini. iZANU-PF isifuna ukubulala uNelson Chamisa because of sebehlulekile ukuthi ba-destroy i-opposition. Now they want to go for Chamisa's head, bathi sebefuna ukumdingela okungamacalacala bambophe. Bengambopha siyakwazi ukuthi kuyini okungenzakala ejele. It's either bazamfakela i-poison or bazamgweba isikhathi eside ukuthi lanxa ephuma kasayenelisi ukuthi aconteste njengopresident welizwe. So iyo indaba esikhuluma ngayo lapho ukuthi khona sometimes iZANU-PF nxa isenza khona ekwenzayo icabanga ukuthi khawulisa uChamisa babe bembumba isikhathi ezuza isupport enengi kakhulu, isupport enkulu kakhulu. Remember chief, when President Chamisa formed CCC, we were about to go for an election. We were about to go for a by-election. I think we formed CCC in February, in January. In February, in March, there were by-elections. And Chamisa managed to win 19 MPs. Out of, I don't know, it was out of how many, but he won the majority of MPs, the majority of councillors. And when Monzora took MDC, people thought kuti Chamisa apera. Even now, chief, people puna vanhu vari kutorotomoka anzi Chamisa apera. Ndikati Chamisa aperi zvekumhanya. Indoti momedza ifiriji. Chamisa aperi zvekumhanya. Manje imi muri kufunga kuti mamupedza. Iye atogaina futi. Isikhathi becabanga ukuthi sebemuqedile yisikhathi esiba more popular. And kathesi uza kuba more popular ukudlula lokho ayikho khona ngo-2023. Mark my words, chief. Chamisa is now ×5 popular, because I've heard even some people who do not even know politics. Chief, wasinei politics. You know, ndakanzwa ma-audio evamwe mai, so I was so shocked. Awamo ma-structures awaiti zvepolitics, but the way yawaitaura nayo about chavangu. So chief, I think daenda ndazviziva the audio type player, chief. It's in Ndebele. Mai vaya vachitaura vachiti ende chavangu zvaari kuita izvozvo izvi zvichamunetsa and wachichema mai avo vachiti Chavangu auraya nyika. Can you imagine? Chavangu auraya nyika. She understands everything that is going on, but she's not a politician. So people are seeing all this, Chief, and believe you me, Chavangu will die a painful death. You know, Chavangu's children will urinate on Chavangu's grave because of what he is doing now. It's gonna come up when he is gone, or maybe when he is old. You know, he's gonna be left with scars that every person will be talking about Chavang. And in our culture, Chief, you can't make the whole nation cry. One munhu chaiye akakuchemera musodzi unoita munyama. What more kuchemerwa nenyika yese?
Yeah, someone was telling me the same thing that you are saying there, kuchemerwa, and you know why you know about the president. It was slightly different. He was talking about we're discussing the issue of getting in the streets, demonstrating, and so forth and so forth. And he made a very distinct point and said, you understand that we don't have a democracy in Zimbabwe. We have an autocracy. We have a military regime, and the military regimes, they kill. They kill. They don't care. That's how they killed Bishop Messiah. That's how they killed Bonenguve. That's how they killed More Blessing Ali. That's how they killed Mr. Tuesday in Lawa. That's how they've killed all these thousands of people, all these thousands of comrades that we have buried. And do you want, the president will be thinking on himself that, if I put people in the streets, if people get in the streets and 100 people die, because I know Emerson Mnangagwa is prepared to kill. Emerson Mnangagwa can massacre. He can murder people. How is that going to be, on your mental health, on yourself, that people that have died are on you in a way, because you are the leader. There's no way you can exonerate yourself from the death of so many people. And that person was giving me an example that someone died when he was an engineer in Umguza in Lawayo with an accident at work, but it lived with him for years because he just thought he was responsible for the death of that one person. What if 30 people died, 40 people died, 50 people are killed, are murdered, are massacred in the streets? I'm not saying anything, don't quote me or misquote me, but I'm just telling you the realities of the government, so-called government, that we are fighting against. It's not a democratic government where you expect to demonstrate and nothing comes to you and nothing becomes a threat to you. No. Mnangagwa kills, and he's prepared to kill to remain in power. He needs strategies. He needs people who can sit down and strategize and outsmart him. And it is possible. There are so many ways that can be implemented, so many things that can be done while at the same time saving lives. But I was just responding to you, Barbara, what you had said about culpability and the like. But let's see what the people are saying on the program. Jeki Ngwenya Akati. Oh, okay. This is for you, Barbara. I'll leave that for you. It's in Ndebele, but we have Ellen Lovu. He must remain in the country.
I can't see the comment, Chief. Can Estella flight it here?
I'll flight it there. Ellen Lovu is saying he must remain in the country. What a brave man he is, President Chamisa. ZANU Mafia did that to the late Tsvangirai before the GNU. He's talking about when Mr. Tsvangirai had to go to Botswana. Coletta Nlea, yes, there are plots against him, but the angels of God are protecting him. Gonyama Yezulu. Ihamba naye. Amen, Colin. Coletta, yes, we know that the angels of the Lord are protecting him. That's how he has survived this long. Can we do something, please, to protect him? Ellen is saying, Buddha, Chamisa, UNAU, Sadak, these people are killers. Chamisa is in danger. The people are agreeing with what we are saying here. Jackie Ngwenya, President Nelson Chamisa's presidents is God Citizens Alliance. Let's continue to make a coalition with God as Shabangu makes a coalition with ZANU-PF. And ZANU-PF, of course, continues to make a coalition with the devil. That's what we are seeing here, that ZANU-PF, of course, is always in coalition with the devil himself. Thank you, Barbara. We are all pissed off, but I think it was necessary to hang on to expose these things. I think we as citizens need to protect President Chamisa. Erisha M. 15 million Zimbabweans are held hostage by less than 50 ZANU-PF criminals. We are such cowards. Wake up, Zimbabwe. At that point, I hand over to Barbara. 15 million Zimbabweans are being held hostage by less than 50 ZANU-PF people. Are we cowards, Barbara? Are Zimbabweans cowards? I mean, it's not fun, but I'm just asking.
Nyoro, is he or she not a coward? We are not cowards, Chief. Like you rightfully say about dictators, Chief. Dictators, they kill. You know, that's why you see President Chamisa said kuti iye haasi kuda kudeura ropa, hanzi maoko angu yakachena handidi kudeura ropa. I don't want to take state power through violence. You know, he says kuti he wants to take a state power through peaceful means, like the elections. That's why the reason why you see him participating in every election. And you know, every election is exposing ZANU-PF. But believe you what, Chief, it's just that we people don't have patience. But we should also learn to read. Let's Google and read and find kuti kune dzimwe nyika here. Are there any countries that gained their independence from dictatorship without splitting blood? Are there countries, what happens to my dictators? Do dictators live forever, or they die, or they fall? Not to die as a literal, or they fall. In chandoziva chief ndezvekuti in as much as you can become a dictator, but you eventually fall. So we are not cowards, and we cannot do things that will make Zimbabweans regret a tomorrow, Chief. So the person who says Zimbabweans are coward, you know, it's only a matter of time, Chief. Song yatatanga nayo ya Paul Madzore, it was saying simba revanhu muchariona, and for sure simba revanhu richaonekwa. People power shall prevail. All this what is happening, Chief, with ZANU-PF, it shall come to pass. You know, liberation, the war, the struggle might take a long time, but eventually we'll get there. Eventually, tikasaiona independence, Chief, but muzukuru wangu achaona Zimbabwe yakanaka kuburikidza neushingi President Nelson Chamisa.
Yes, I totally agree with you. Well, that's the reason why I was saying, you know, sometimes we get into this struggle thinking that freedom is going to come tomorrow or freedom is going to come yesterday. But that's not the nature of revolutions. freedom will come. And when you get into it, when we are in it right now, we should be saying, I am in this until freedom comes. I am in this for the long haul. Whenever freedom comes, I will be part of it. I will be participating one way or another. It doesn't mean that I have to remain in the same form, or I have to remain wearing yellow. I have to remain wearing blue. I have to, remain being called Chief Shoshe. I can change names. I can change colors. I can come here wearing brown Barbara. I can come here wearing purple. It's part of the struggle. The color doesn't determine what I'm thinking, what I want to achieve. The name even itself doesn't determine what we are trying to achieve. The name is just a name. There's nothing in a name. The color is just a color. There's nothing in the color. So let's be prepared, folks. And I'm saying this, confidently, because I know that millions of Zimbabweans, millions of people share the same sentiments that let's fight, however it takes. Even if it means changing our colors 3 times, 4 times, it's okay. Even if it means changing our name 3, 4 times, it's okay, because we are not doing it out of choice. We are doing it because of the ruthless, rough political environment that we are in. Who wants to just change their name? You wouldn't just change your name. But if the situation says, for you to get freedom, for Zimbabwe to be free, change the name. What is in a name? What is in a color? I've always said that. And I gave an example when I started about ZANU-PF, how ZANU-PF moved from another political party to another political party, split between ZANU, ZAPU, and many other political parties that came in. So let's not worry about colors. Let's not worry about the name. I would be worried about the destination. Are we going to get to where we want? Are we going to be where we want our children to be? Like Barbara was saying, are we going to be or leave this country in a manner or at a stage where our grandchildren will be so proud of us and will be speaking to us the way the people in America speak about their forefathers, speak about the people that took up the American Revolution, that fought the British and drove the British away. Today, at any gathering here in America, you hear them talking and eulogizing their forefathers, that they did great. So that's where we are right now. We are the forefathers of our grandchildren that will be there 10 years from now, that will be surviving 20 years from now. So we might not see the freedom that we are fighting for today. We might not live to see a new great Zimbabwe, but let's do whatever we can, whatever it takes to ensure that our grandchildren and our great-grandchildren will be speaking about us in a manner that even if you're going to wake up from the dead, you'll be proud of what you did. The little that you're doing right now, Estella, that you think you're doing, that you think it's little, you wake up from the dead and you hear your grandchildren saying, my grandmother, I know you don't want to be called grandmother. My
Not
grandmother, Estella, was part of this. She contributed to this freedom. She contributed to this enjoyment that we now have in Zimbabwe. That's where we are right now. Estella, I know you disappeared on us. We wanted you to play something about President Chamisa, but before you play that, you can comment.
Sorry. I had to move from where I was. With a noise. Yeah. For me, I really welcome this power move that President Chamisa made. He just demonstrated that he is the most powerful man in Zimbabwe right now. That if he just flexes a little bit of muscle, the whole country, zunguzuka. So, like, I saw a post on WhatsApp. Yangai Chiti, right now, everybody is talking about Chamisa. ZANU PF is talking about Chamisa. Varakashi are talking about Chamisa. Regional leaders are talking about Chamisa. SADC is talking about Chamisa. Global leaders are talking about Chamisa. And I like the way that President Shamisa just shook things up a little bit with what he did, because after the elections, with all that fake news that was going around, there was so much confusion and disorientation. The masses were sort of like, you know they didn't know where we are coming from, where we are going to. And in a way, it felt like the struggle was starting to sort of die down. People were losing that fire for the struggle. But now, with this move that President Chamisa made, everyone is once again fired up, like the way you said, Chief, in your meetings, and what I'm observing as well on social media. And when I talk to other people are really fired up again. And even though people were starting to feel worn out, whether financially or in other contributions, but now people are, they're determined to get back on the wagon. And I find that interesting, that everything that ZANU PF does to try to get rid of the main opposition, to try to eliminate President Chamisa, it just works against their, their intentions. Uh, it always makes him more powerful. And it's they try to separate President Chamisa from the citizens, from the masses, but everything that they do to try to separate us just makes people love President Chamisa even more. They were talking about how he's a dictator and how the CCC is a one-man band. And um, when President Chamisa left CCC, it resulted in people even declaring boldly that we go with President Chamisa. And what he says is what we do. I watched the video by Madziba Babe Shanduko saying that inini President Chamisa vakanditi 10 left, I 10 left. Vakanditi 10 right, I 10 right. And zvikanzi munhu anenge ndikawirana nemunhu, it's because munhu iye anosapota President Chamisa, asi munhu iye akangopesana naPresident Chamisa atova maenemies, hatichambowirirana nemunhu iyeye. So that's the ironic thing, kuti toti hudofu here hwezanu PF, that everything that they are doing to try to cling to power actually works against that. It is costing them that power. But another thing I'm excited about is, with the move that President Chamisa made, is the idea of moving away from the traditional political system, where you have a political party with political players, because that's what destroyed our country, to be honest. The politics of players who play our country like pawns on a chessboard, and the one who wins takes it all, as if we are objects that they can and bet on and play and win and lose. I love the fact that President Chamisa is moving away from that deprecated model of politics and putting citizens squarely at the center of his political model, because that is the kind of politics that brings development. Politics where people choose their leaders, and they choose leaders who advance their interests, as opposed to politics where political players outsmart each other uh, in the most destructive ways. You know, disregarding the will of the people for personal benefits. So I'm quite excited to see this move that President Chamisa is making and the direction that he is taking his political, civil political career. And I'm quite convinced that with that new model, um, we are much closer to the new great Zimbabwe, because I feel like one of the main problems, the reasons why we are where we are, is that citizen participation in national affairs is minimal. So those few who are privileged to be in positions of power, they do as they please with the country, with the resources of the country, because citizens are not monitoring them. No one is checking on them to see what they're doing. They get to make laws that allow them to loot and to advance their personal interests. But now, when President Chamisa takes his politics to the civilian arena and centers it around civilians, I'm hopeful that this move will empower citizens to finally take up their duty, their responsibility. Most people say it's a right, but I feel like it's not just a right. It is a duty, something that we owe to ourselves and especially to our children and to future generations, to know what is happening at the national level in our country, to know what are the laws that are being made in our name to govern our lives and to chart, the future of our country, and to object when we are not happy about what we are seeing, what is being done in our name. And I feel that is the only way that we can get to a place where we have politicians who are accountable to citizens, politicians who compete to please citizens, as opposed to citizens who give up their duties, their responsibilities to celebrate when a politician is coming over, kill their one goat or one chicken that they have to celebrate a visit from a politician, which is the very reason why these people feel so entitled, and they think they own the people of Zimbabwe and we have to serve them. So I am really optimistic about this move that President Chamisa has made, and I sense it in my spirit that this is what is going to finally take us to the new Zimbabwe that we are all yearning for. But you asked me to play this video. Can I go ahead, or would you like to?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
We are very clear. We have made a very bold stance.
And that's my network.
Asi muri kuuzumba.
Mweya yezano iri kuda kukanganisa zvinhu apa. Vanobata kavanhu vezano.
Oh, yeah. While you're doing that, let's go to the comment section. I love the comment section. Keep the comments coming, guys.
Isa comment endebele yetiverenge.
Okay. Unity Guvea, even some members of our parliament who were in Zimbabwe parliament through CC President Nelson Chamisa, they said we can't continue to be in Zimbabwe parliament. Yet our chief champion, Josima Hachi, we undergoing sifting process. Those who are sellouts, we will see them now. Those who are for stomach politics, we will see them remaining in parliament. Toby Zodwa, Chief, we are angry because we are just quiet. Not doing anything. We worked hard to support President Chamisa's campaign, CCC, but we are quiet. Shabangu going to enjoy our hard-earned money. I feel for you. I'm with you, Tombi Zodwa. I am totally with you. It's just surprising that someone can do what he's doing, what Shabangu did, and he still walks in the streets of Harare just like nothing has happened. He even addresses Harare in Mulawayo and nothing happens. Yeah, it only happens in Zimbabwe. It only happens in Zimbabwe. Are you ready, Esther?
Yeah, let me try.
Okay. I'm still finding that comment, Barbara. I'll get it.
Yeah, my network is really playing up.
Okay. Well, at least can we do something, please, to protect him? People are still worried about the president. South Africa, Cape Town, Gladys Bepete. Thank you so much for joining. We appreciate you. Mwari Chengetai, President Wedu Chamisa. I always say to people that the president survives, and he survives because of the prayers. There are so many people that are praying for President Chamisa. Some people are praying every day. They are on prayer lines every day. Every corner of the world, there are people that are praying. And to me, those are the people that are keeping the president alive. And those are the people that will keep him alive. I don't know, for some reason, I can't see that comment. But to those that want to just say something, you want to comment on the topic that we are discussing, please do call +1 850 559 6287. The number again, +1 850 559 6287. If you can't call, you can just text. We'll read your comments here. We want to know what you think about the upcoming new movement. It's a citizen movement, as you heard the president say, and as you're going to hear him say in this interview. It's not going to be a political party. Obviously, these are strategies that we are talking about. A political party obviously will come at some time, but for now, to make sure that we mobilize the best, we mobilize everyone, we mobilize every citizen, there is going to be a citizen movement. I know some people may not understand that, but that's what's going to be there for now. And personally, I understand the reasons behind that, the issues to do with infiltration, the issues to do with what ZANU-PF always does, bringing bags of money to people. Because right now, as President Chamisa is doing what he's doing, ZANU-PF is eyeing, looking at the people that are closer to him, that are around him. If there are 4 people, if there are 5 people, if there are 6 people, I bet you ZANU-PF will be approaching them to ensure that they capture 1 or 2 of those people so that they continue to destabilize the people's movement. But how about, if it's only one person who is out there, they will now need to take their bags of money to that person only. That would mean to Advocate Chamisa himself. They have to take the bags of money there. As I said earlier, this struggle is going to be won by the strategies that we use. We are not going to win this struggle by continuing to do the things that we used to do yesteryear. We have to change strategy. we have to change the way we do things. And again, as I said in my earlier submission when I was talking about the meeting we had here in North America, I know people will be saying, why were you having a meeting? Are you still chairman? I'm no longer chairman of North America. We are all citizens. We gather, we talk. And when we spoke in that meeting, people were asking Chief and any other person that was in there, what are we going to do differently to ensure that we don't have other Chabangus coming in? And obviously, the powers that be have answers to that. Those are things that need to be talked about. Those are things that need to be fixed. Those are things that need to, to be, a matter of concern, so that we plug all the holes and ensure that next time we don't have to, face the same fate as Chabangu and others. I'm sure you've fixed the problem now.
On my laptop, the network keeps playing up, but I can try and play it from my phone. At least people can
Yes.
hear.
Yeah, it works.
We are very clear. We have made a very bold
Is it audible?
stance. We have defined and drawn a line in the sand to say we need a properly elected government in Zimbabwe, a return to legitimacy, a return to majority rule, a return to majority happiness, a return to majority prosperity.
How is that possible, Mr. Chamisa?
That is only possible when we've respected the people and respected our God in heaven. So yes, we are saying enough is enough of all these recalls being instigated by ZANU-PF and obviously supported by Mr. Mnangagwa.
Why blame Mr. Mnangagwa when his party is saying that it is factionalism within your party?
Because he's also the one who is presiding over the fiscus of the nation. We can't waste the resources of our country over by-elections that are illegal, that are criminal. We must take those resources to cholera, to supporting, and mitigating against the disaster that is coming, drought, and other social priorities that we must focus on. So we don't want to be part of a charade. We don't want to be part of a circus. We want to draw a line in the sand and say, going forward, we can't be poodles of ZANU-PF.
But what is the way forward?
We want this country to be governed properly, accountably, and of course democratically. So that is our position, and we hope that people understand that we are drawing a line in the sand so that we create a new chapter, new politics, a new path, and we galvanize Zimbabweans together.
What is the end game here?
So that we build a strong citizens movement, not just a political party. Political parties don't liberate nations. Liberations come from movements. The liberation movement was a collection of different stakeholders and citizens coming together to say, this is how we want to be governed. And of course, we have a right as a people to also indicate how we want to be governed. We can't have a cycle, a vicious cycle of disputed elections, contested elections, rigged elections, and people suffering, over 5 million people in the diaspora, people flocking to go into the diaspora on account of bad governance. Enough is enough, and we want to draw a line in the sand and correct the situation.
Yes, so that was the interview, President Chamisa's interview on VOA.
Barbara, what do you take of that as we round up?
Very, very powerful, Chief. I like the point where President Chamisa says, "Kuti, whatever is gonna come, it will be people centered." And just like Citizens Coalition, but I know this one will be more powerful than CCC. And he says people will say, kuti varoda kugovernwa sei. That's a very critical point, Chief. And I think this time we should include kuti, if people say we don't want elections, no one goes into an election. If people say kuti, every MP should withdraw, they must listen to the people. Unlike people in scenarios where when people say MPs should not go to parliament, they are the ones to start arguing to say we used a lot of money, or yeah, we have to do this because of no. If people say no, it has to be a no, chief.
There we are, folks. Let's hear what you say. We always want to hear what the people say about what Barbara just said about the MPs. That's actually a big story that we need to have a live for, so that we can discuss it in full. But you can also just throw in your comment there, so that we know what you think and how you feel. Your last words, Estella, the future of politics in Zimbabwe. Are we entering a new era where we are just doing things differently? And as we say, the saying goes, you can't keep doing things the same way. And a person who keeps doing the things the same way and expecting a different result is a fool. Are Zimbabweans prepared for change? Are Zimbabweans embracing the new? Are Zimbabweans prepared to embrace and get involved in a new way of politics, a new way of doing things? As we finish, Champion Estella, your last words.
Yes, thank you, Chief. Indeed, we are entering a new era on our political scene, and I think it is a developmental issue that we have been governed for the last 43 years. We had independence, but we were not governing ourselves. Tanga tisiri kuzvitonga, tanga tiri kutongwa, even though tatichiti hedu tiri independent, but our independence was incomplete because kana ari mwana, kana achinzi akura ava independent, zviri kureva kuti haachadhipenda on amai nababa kumuudza kuti nhai chimuka chiita chakati chienda kubasa. Akura he becomes self-determined, anenge achizvitonga ega, ndiye anenge achidecida zvekuita. So we have, as a people, have not been governing ourselves. We have been governed for the last 43 years. And so tasvika paage iya yekuti taakufanira kuchikura tichitanga kuzvigavhena. So some of these things that are happening, zvinhu zviri programmed to happen, kuti it should come a time where as a people you cannot continue to be told what to do, to be to be governed. You get to a time where you start to decide what you want to see happening in your country. And when that happens, now we say you are governing yourselves. We are self-governed and we are genuinely independent. So I love this movie, President Chamisa. It is just taking us in the direction that we need to go for sustainable change. Because even if we change president, even if we change government, as long as we, the people, are not ready to govern ourselves, to take responsibility and to take control of the direction of our nation, we will always find ourselves back in a place where we are oppressed and we are being dictated to. So for me, I'm very excited about what President Chamisa is doing now, and I see that we are near to to the new great Zimbabwe.
Wow. Thank you very much, Estella. Barbara, are you still there?
Vanenge vadona. Maybe
Okay,
battery.
I think battery has ran out. Thank you, Zimbabweans. Thank you, everyone who has been here with us for the past 1 hour, 15 minutes. And as people were requesting, we'll try to be back with more updates, with more discussions, so that we continue to have a discourse over what is happening in our motherland. So, yeah, again, thank you for being here. We appreciate you being here. I know there were people on YouTube, on our Facebook channel, and on Change Radio itself. We appreciate you. Let's continue to support the movement. Let's be prepared to embrace the new. The new is here. The new is coming. Let's continue to support our president. I was telling him that you will always be our president. If we can't call you the president, the champion in chief, then we can easily call you the people's president. And he is indeed the people's president. So let's continue to support. Let's continue to ensure that there is freedom and democracy in Zimbabwe. And for that to happen, we want everyone involved. Like someone was writing here that he wants to see more people in the diaspora getting involved in what is happening in Zimbabwe. Indeed, the more people in the diaspora are involved, the more we'll be getting closer to getting Zimbabwe free. Thank you so much. May God bless you, and may God bless our great nation of Zimbabwe. We shall free Zimbabwe, and I know that Zimbabwe will be free. Thank you. Good night, good morning, depending on where you are.